Hi YouTube, I'm Lexi,
And I'm Shelby.
and we're starting a new video series on the Idea Lab channel. We're going to be doing some fun, cool projects on here. So this is our first one. We're doing a VR computer build. And I have actually never built a computer before.
It's going to be fun. It's gonna be a lot
I'm a
of
little nervous. I mean, we started building this one actually a couple weeks ago, and we got started and ran into an issue that the CPU was not the right one.
It got switched out.
Yeah, it was like a real old CPU. So here we are today, and crossing our fingers that everything works out.
Yep.
All right, should we get started?
Yeah, let's get started.
Okay. So what's your favorite part on this computer?
The video card is pretty cool. For VR, we went with a 1080. And this one is by MSI. Has a really cool cooler on it. It's just a really powerful card.
Okay, awesome.
What do you think the motherboard does in a computer? If you were trying to explain it.
I would say it runs everything. I don't know.
Kinda. It's almost like the body. So it connects like the skeletal system.
Okay.
It kind of connects all the different pieces of hardware together. Looking at the motherboard, we can see this is where we plug everything in.
Mm-hmm.
So these are called a PCI Express lane. This is where our video card will slot in.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we put all of our RAM. And this is the CPU socket. So for this build, we went with a Ryzen 1700X, and this should just plop right in there and line up. So that'll be the first step.
Okay.
And so this is where the last video went horribly wrong.
I'm excited because I was trying to place a CPU in there, and after hearing it just goes right on there. Well, that one did not. So
once the case is open, the pins are really easy to bend. So always handle it by the edge, line up the triangles, and then it should just fit right in.
Oh wow.
Just like that. We're good now.
Okay.
So then just push the lever down, and that's going to lock the CPU into the socket. Now let's install the RAM. So normally some people will go immediately to the cooler, but you can see it kind of blocks the RAM. So we're going to install our RAM first, so it's a little easier. So if you want to open up that, I'm going to double check the manual. So we are in 2 modules. So we can go in 4 and 2 or 3 and 1. There we go. Pretty easy.
Yeah, that is.
So next thing we need to do is we need to cool the CPU. So the CPU gives off a lot of heat. So this is why we have this. The issue is if we put this on top, there might be some air gaps between the copper and this guy. And so that's where a thermal compound comes in.
Yeah.
So this guy kind of fills in the air gap in between the CPU and the cooler and makes a really good contact.
I'm nervous. None came out.
So that's why I have 2 of them, but I'm pretty sure there's still thermal compound in there. So put it down right in the center. That's it. So now we need the fan. And I think in our case, we want to be blowing the hot air up and out. So we're going to put this guy right there. And then this needs to be plugged in. So we turn our motherboard around. That's the CPU and the RAM. Now the last thing we can, while this is out of the case, is we can install our M.2 SSD.
Yep.
So the reason that we have an SSD in the system is so we can boot up really quick. So this is going to be used in like a classroom environment. So they'll wheel in a cart, and so we need it to boot up to Windows really quick. So that's where that comes in. We'll put Windows on this guy, and then all the games and software will be on the bigger hard drive. So this is the SSD, this little tiny chip right here. This is 250 gigabytes of storage, and it's really, really fast. And so what it does is it goes in there at an angle, and then you push it down, and then screw it. So we're going to be screwing it into this guy right here. There we go.
Cool.
So the cool part, it's kind of like a highway of data to the CPU.
Oh, okay.
So for our other hard drive, this guy, we're going to use a cable that goes from here to here on the motherboard. And that's just like a smaller highway. That's like a 2-lane highway. This is like a 6-lane highway.
Okay.
So you can just send a lot more data to and from the hard drive and the CPU. So you get much, much faster speeds out of this. And that's what lets us boot so much quicker.
Okay.
So, cool. That's about all we can do with this outside of the case. So now we need to start putting it into the case.
Okay.
Okay, so this is our case. It's a pretty small case, but it does fit everything we need.
Okay.
It may be a little bit harder than most cases to build in, but we're up for the challenge. So this guy kind of powers everything. So this is what takes the power from the wall and converts it to all the power for the computer. So this one's really cool. This is called a modular power supply. So you only need to use the cords that you're using in your system. So most power supplies just have a bundle. All of these cords would be attached. Now, so we only need a motherboard, and we have our SATA drive, and we have our video card. So that's all the cables we're going to need, which is really cool. Very, very close to testing it. But we need to first plug this guy in. So we're going to follow the PC building code, Lexi. Do you know what that is?
I do not.
We are going to put everything, all the panels, all the covers on, because we're confident that it's going to work.
Okay, let's do it.
Do you want to plug that guy in? Oh, it goes right down here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Oh, the screen is on. That's a good sign. Okay. Did you do the honors? The power button? It's on the back. Oh, I think one of the fans has a wire in the way. That's an easy fix. Oh, and there's our 2 terabyte hard drive.
Okay.
Awesome. We built a computer.
Sweet.
Yeah. It looks like everything is showing up.
Okay.
That's a computer. I mean, the next step would be to load Windows, but that's
Right.
super boring, so we'll do that off camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you think of building a computer?
It actually isn't as bad as it sounds. However, I would say I would use a bigger box next time.
Bigger case?
Yeah, bigger case. I would highly recommend that for anyone.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
But, yeah. I think that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks.
If you're at Red Rocks Community College and you want to come by, you can come down, play some VR games, or try out some new simulations.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, stay tuned for our next one.